apologize. Lost track of time. Getting some stuff done and did my writing and reaching out to some people for the next upcoming weeks. Early start. We want to make sure that we keep the roll going. This has been an awesome week, by the way. As far as guests are concerned, we started out Monday. Shoot time. We started out Monday with Miss Blipper, and then the Fishman, who I absolutely loved. Very meaningful for me. If you have not watched it, I hope you go over and check it out. There's a playlist for all the guests that have been up. And speaking of playlists, there's a playlist for Scroll Sniper, the Esoteric Lounge. And he had a wonderful conversation last night. Plato's Cave. Presenting it in a bit of a different light. Presenting it in, not just, it seems to me that Plato leaves us hanging. But as Sniper said, maybe, we did not receive the entire manuscript, right? From, what was it, the Republic? Anyway, it was a great conversation. Tuesday, we had Vicky, Poppy. Between Dove and Vicky, there's almost 100 years of Course in Miracles experience. And then we had Tom Wakechild come up in the evening. Yesterday was just a hanging out day until we got to the Esoteric Lounge. Don't know what today's going to bring. I don't have any guests, but who knows? Who might want to pop up. Hey, Kat. Hi, Jessica. Have a good day. I love you. I love you too, Jessica. And thank you. And you have a good day. Falcon, how are you? Mustafa, nice to see you, my friend. Speaking of playlists, Jessica's looking for watch hours, and she has a playlist up on it. Thank you, Kat. And speaking of playlists, Kat has a playlist up, and she is not quite yet at 4K, but she's getting closer and closer. Hey, Tiger King. What do I think about Christmas? I'll be honest with you. Christmas doesn't really enter my mind much. Not, not in any bad way. It's just I got stuff going on that I'm working on that has me very excited, and that's enough for me right now. But I'm glad that you enjoy it. I know Christmas is a big deal for you, and I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, Tiger King, and everyone else too. Let's see. 2G. And it scared your dog. Man, you either have a skittish dog or that was one massive fart. Whatever the case may be. Hey, Anna. Hey, Flora. Flora, I hope you're feeling better. I know that you were under the weather. Tiger King is off to drama soon. Enjoy. Have a good session. Are you guys doing something, any kind of Christmas play? Kat says that her dog farts and scares himself. You're right. You blame the dog. Everyone blames the dog. Semper says, love you, Phoenix. Dolly, thank you for being here. Hey, Ryan, my friend. Make me mad, please. Probably not quite yet. I know you come from Toy Pups. I'm just always slightly hesitant. Hey, Ducky. Slightly hesitant when people ask. What's up, Marlon? Tiger King, Sniper wants to know if you enjoyed Plato's Cave. Mustafa says, how are you, Anna? Mr. Yogi and everyone. I'm doing pretty good. Early morning to you, Ducky. Thanks for being here. And I agree with Sniper on this. Try having a conversation and see All he sees is asking and nothing else. And that's the key. Come in and hang out because you enjoy being here and hanging out with everyone. And if you don't, that's absolutely fine. All right. Shoes on. Mission accomplished. Now it's on to the watch. And I'm going to read what I wrote this morning. And we'll dive into some course material. You know, the course is very clear on Dharma. Dharma being a Sanskrit word. And it's often sort of a misplaced translation. We think that our Dharma is to be a piano player or a doctor or a lawyer. We think that it has a specific title to it. I came in this world to do this, right? Be a businessman, to be president. I fulfilled my Dharma. However, maybe some people have come into this world with some specific talents. A Mozart, perhaps, who seemed to be able to play from the very beginning. His father was a musician, but there was definitely something other going on. But that would be considered a more of a samkara, more of a something that has carried over from lifetime, an emotional imprint, right? Versus Dharma. Course in Miracles says that your function is the light of the world. Light is love. Light is synonymous with love. Your function is to extend light. That's it. How do you do it? It's going to be different for everyone. Here's what I wrote, by the way, guys. My function as light. As told in the Course in Miracles, my only function is the one God gave me. And further, that I am the light of the world. This sounds like a very grand assignment. God directed, as if my personal Dharma has already been assigned. And maybe it has, although it seems to have taken me a lifetime to finally arrive here. Or perhaps my only real mission was the 60 years it took to reveal myself as light. Honestly, I don't know, but I do know that the nature of light is to extend itself through darkness. And so now, that's my only function, however it unfolds. I got such a lovely comment. I've mentioned this several times. From Vicky, she sent me a text a couple of days ago before we did our live stream. And she said, thank you for, more or less, thank you for heeding the call of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is that voice that urges us to fulfill our function as light in the world, however that might be. But again, it doesn't mean that your holy function is to be a lawyer or to be a doctor or to be a musician. It is to extend yourself as light, which is your true identity. So the more that we can relax, knowing everything's taken care of. We are the light of the world. Your job is to shine, nothing more. How that comes about is already given. It's already given. The script is written. Those who show up in your life are there for you to love, no matter who they are. No exceptions. The troll that shows up into your live stream, the person that presses your button, the guy that bumps into you on a train, the person that you were there to love specifically, the person you thought you were there to love specifically, who leaves, the function remains the same. Your function is to love. Your function is to be the light of the world. Every darkened corner. Speaking of the ones we love, I read that yesterday. Examine your mind. Examine your mind, every dark corner of the mind. I don't know if I can find the exact quote. There is quite a bit of darkness, mentioning darkness, the word dark or darkened, and of course miracles, because the ego miscreates through darkness, which is why we live in a world that seems so dark. I'll jump in the chat in just a minute. I don't think I'm going to find the specific thing. But I love this. Around you, angels hover lovingly to keep away all darkened thoughts of sin and keep the light where it has entered in. Your footprints lighten up the world, for where you walk, forgiveness gladly goes with you. No one on earth but offers thanks to one who has restored his home and sheltered him from bitter winter and the freezing cold. And shall the Lord of heaven and his Son give less in gratitude for so much more? All right. What do you got to say? What do you guys got to say? Hey, Coco. Hey, Susanna. Susanna, thank you for dropping that link. Susanna asked us to please watch, and we're happy to do so. I'm on it, my friend. One second. All right. Hey, sissy. Mustafa is staying at a hotel for a business meeting. Mustafa, where are you from, my friend? Wisconsin. Can I attend the end of the year holiday or Christmas? Hey, we'll do our best to try to make it a joyful Christmas for you. Maybe we'll have a Christmas singing live stream. People can come in and sing their favorite Christmas songs. All right. Sissy, you have your link yet? Hey, Robbie. Hello from New Jersey. Thanks for your message. Thank you, Robbie. Thanks for being here. And hello from Maryland. You are not far from me. I wouldn't mind living in New Jersey. I found it a beautiful state. It's nicknamed the Garden State, and people joke about that. But that's because everyone thinks of the big city, Newark, Trenton, some of the other cities, and the suburbs surrounding. You get outside of the suburbs, and beautiful mountains, beautiful shoreline. You got the Pine Barrens towards the south. I love the Pine Barrens. I had the opportunity to spend a day hiking through the Pine Barrens. Made a specific trip up there. And I love the mountains in New Jersey. Very high bear population in northern New Jersey. People don't think of mountains in New Jersey, but the Appalachian Trail cuts right through it. Hey, Lucy. How are you, my friend? Did I see over at Cats that you said that you were up all night? Mustafa says, I am from Albania. We have another friend from Albania as well. Super Champ. Thanks for letting us know. If I've missed anyone, I apologize. Hey, Bird Farm, how are you, my friend? Hey, how come I'm not subscribed to you? Fixed. I just fixed it, my friend. I'll come over and hang out at your channel later today. Praveen, my friend, how are you? Sissy says I was up past my bedtime as well and didn't get up until 4 a.m., so I am behind. I almost slept in this morning. I gave myself an extra half hour, and I stayed in bed all of 2 minutes, and I thought, I don't want to feel behind for the rest of the day. Lucy says, after her 6.5-hour live stream, epic live streams from Lucy, I've been working on here ever since. I have my next tarot live stream set up for Friday afternoon. Lucy has a goal. She is working hard to get there. Guys, if you want to support her, it's easy to support. Show up for the live streams, ask some questions, participate, get a card pulled for yourself, watch the ads, go watch her shorts, watch videos, we watch live streams, and if you feel called to, you can join her channel as well as super chat or super thanks, whatever the case may be. Did you guys know that you could super chat Kat because she's monetized? Just saying. Hey, Miss Flipper. Lucy says, thank you, Eric, for that. You're welcome, Lucy. So, there's a few people who do YouTube full-time. This is their gig, and they work hard. Lucy is one of them. Buddha is one of them. So, these are people, Lucy's doing tarot cards. She's got something that she's sharing. Buddha is a Qigong master. She's inspiration. So these are people who, they are performing their function as the light of the world. They're putting that out there. These are the people, if you can, support. Praveen, this is not his full-time gig. He's a soldier, serves his country. But YouTube is a big part of what he does. So if you can support our friend Praveen, easy to do. All Praveen ever asks is show up on his page and like his shorts. It's all he's ever asked. Will I read your message to the end, please? I just did. Eric, will you read my long message? Oh, your long message. Man, you're going to make me work? I don't see your long message. Do not see it, my friend. Tiger King, by now you should be familiar with me. You should be familiar enough with me to know that I miss things. I miss some comments. I used to be better at it. Not so much anymore. Nothing is ever personal. Mustafa says, Yogi, we'll meet someday. My friend, I'll come to you so we can spend time together. It would be awesome. I'd love to take a walk and talk over all the things that we get to talk about. Mustafa, you've only been here for a short time, but you've become a very valuable part of my live streams. I appreciate you so much. So imagine doing a 6.5. The other day was 7.5 hour live stream. Thank you, Praveen. I've had this for quite some time. The zipper doesn't work, so I keep it zipped up all the time. Miss Flipper, how are you? Hey, Miss Flipper, do you know Liz Concrete? Elizabeth, she goes by Liz. I'm gonna reach out to her. Reach out to her this morning. Tiger King says, in life, Eric, everybody doesn't get on with some people. Yeah, you mentioned that before. We don't need to keep going over it, Tiger King. Relax, relax, relax. It's just a conversation, my friend. And, to answer that, who's to say that we all can't get along? If we could even for a second consider that my interpretation of how things are unfolding might be wrong. Miss Flipper says, if Yogi lets me, there's no such thing as if Yogi lets Miss Flipper. Miss Flipper has free reign. Miss Flipper does what Miss Flipper does, and Yogi just nods his head and smiles and says, man, that was awesome, Miss Flipper. Because everything Miss Flipper does is awesome, does not need to meet with my permission or approval. Miss Flipper only and always gets love from all of us. Miss Flipper is a gift from the algorithms. They were like, for whatever reason, the algorithms were like, let's do something really special for Yogi. Let's give him a gift for showing up every day, 3 times a day. He deserves it. He's a good guy. Life hasn't been easy for him. We gave him bad hair genetics. We gave him big traps, but bad hair. I used to have really good hair. What the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away, but in different forms. He gave me a magnificent head of hair, long blonde hair all the way down to my shoulders, and then said, it's been 30 years. It's a good run, right? Anyway, circling back, Miss Flipper. Of course, Miss Flipper. Show the cards next Monday. I'm looking forward to it. Liz has written pretty extensively. She wrote the mentor articles where, she offered mentorship with the Course in Miracles, and she turned it into a book. She has her autobiography, of which I have a copy somewhere behind me. Lucy says, I kept going because I saw over 100 people watching. And it was about 6-hour mark the other day. Don't think I got the views for that, so I don't know what went on there. Gotcha. Once I had like 87 people pop in my room. And I looked. I saw that audience of 87 people. And I knew I had a message for them. And I turned right to the camera. I started speaking. I was ready to pour my heart out and give them that message that everyone so eagerly was waiting for. Within 6 words that I've left my mouth, all but 4 of them left. That's okay. Anna says, thank you so much for your great live stream last night, Squirrel and Yogi. Always, Anna. That's what the Esoteric Lounge is for. Hey, Kayla. How are you, my friend? Speaking of epic live streamers, Kayla Bill has the endurance of an ultra runner. She's an ultra live streamer. She will be on gaming for like 11 hours. Mustafa says, Kat says, I'm sorry, Eric, but here goes. Uh-oh. Did I just hear you stubbing your toe on a gate, Cat? Mustafa says, Yogi, I know you love books. I'll bring you some of the most amazing books ever, like The City of God and The Vial. Awesome. This paper says, what were the 4 words? Do you remember? Probably something about an oatmeal, a spoon, and a spatula. The other word was just random. All right, here goes. Cat says, Tiger King, how can you demand all your stuff get read, but it says scroll reader can't be read? The ways of a Tiger King are often mysterious, Cat. It is not for us to understand. I would say do not let yourself get low and down by what I do. Because what I do is really a mismatch of, it's very random. If anyone's gotten one thing from any conversation they've ever had with me is, man, that is one random dude. Does he ever stay on topic about anything? He's always circling to and fro. And if you're going to and fro, is it actually a circle or is it more back and forth? Is any topic I ever have straightforward? Do I ever do anything with any type of specific plan? Am I missing comments or am I purposely not reading comments? It's a mystery, guys. It's a mystery. However, here's what I do know. Don't let yourself get down by anything that I do. None of it's intentional. None of it is meant to hurt anyone. I do not ignore people, despite opinions to the contrary. I really don't have favorites. If I did have a favorite, everyone knows that it would be Cat and Jack. But I don't have favorites. I don't have favorites. I am impartial in the love that I give. I am impartial to my partialness. I am very partial in my impartialness. Either way, any way that you think about it, I really do love every single one of you. Some of you I love in very specific ways. But I love every one of you. Anyway, where was I? Hey, Terry. Terry says, it's been a long time. Good to see you. Good to see you too. Terry says, hi, brother. It's been a long time. Good. Sorry, I read that. Nugget first says, pick up any shelf and read that many books. Pick any shelf, and I haven't read that many books. Hey, but I'm 60 years old. You are probably not, right? So I've had plenty of time to read those books. Marlon says, yeah, he had 40 once, and as soon as I started training and talking, it went right down. See, 87 people showed up and expected me to say something loving and wise. And I looked in the camera and I said spatula, and they were like, we're out of here. People think they know everything about spatulas, right? What a spatula is for. What's the function of a spatula? To spatulate. That's a verb. Spatulate. Look it up. It's in the dictionary. The big dictionary of words that Yogi made up. It's online. You can check it out. But as the Course says, if you can see something truly for what it is, everything becomes an awakening thing. The Course is very Zen-like in those instructions. If you can see that you have assigned all the meaning that a spatula has, but the spatula itself is as God made it, whatever that might be. So I love you all as spatulas. Flippin' spirits. I know, I made no sense whatsoever. What's my take on ayahuasca being used as a natural remedy for mental health? If it works, I'm all for it, and I believe it works. And I have a guest who's hopefully coming up next week who's going to talk about that to the best that we're able without getting flagged. A group of spatulas is called a spurtle. I did not know that. Have you ever seen a spatula in the wild? Have you ever seen a group of spurtles in the wild? Pretty amazing to see. I first saw it, I think I was 8 years old. Remember the Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? Moreland Parkins, who was always the one sending other people in danger as he sat in the Jeep, sending people out to observe spatulas in the wild. I didn't know that, Terry. Thank you. Cat says, I do not know what a spurtle is, but I would like to know. Ask. Now, do you have spurtles or do you have a spatula? And here's a question. Why do we need more than one spatula? Why do we need spurtles? Do you have a spatula specific for eggs and a spatula specific? How did I end up with like 17 spatulas in my house? I have never bought a spatula in my entire life. I never went to Bed Bath and Spatula Beyond. I never went to Spatula Hut or Spatula. I never went to Toys or Spatula. I've never been to a big spatula store. How did I end up with so many spatulas? And why do I need so many? Can I donate it? There's people in the world with not a single spatula. Flipper said, porridge, aka oatmeal experts. Fun movie, The Golden Spurtle. The Golden Spurtles. I like it. Kat says, I think I have spurtles, and yes, different spatulas for different cooking. You're so spoiled. Jeez, look at that. Yogi does not need all the spatulas because he eats the same thing every day. I do, and I don't need a spatula. I don't need a single spatula. I'm not saying that, when Kat comes up and she cooks me pancakes as I lay in bed, that a spatula won't come in handy, so it's a good thing I have them. I would hate for Kat to go to make me pancakes as I'm laying in bed, and say, oh, shoot, Yogi, you don't have any spatulas? I'm going to have to run to the spatula mart and buy you a spatula so I can make you pancakes as you lie in bed. Did you get the general theme of what I'm talking about here? Hey, environment, I have a cake icing disputer I've never used. I have an ice cream making machine that I've never used. Cat is laughing, says the dream is totally in reverse. I don't think so. Marlon has to have a spurtle, but somehow they got reduced significantly. Hey, come on over. I'll give you some of mine. Miss Pippa says, but he eats oatmeal. If he doesn't want to be an expert, that's okay. That's okay. I do eat oatmeal. Marlon says he's officially lost his mind, and I'm all here for it. This is a typical 5 a.m. conversation that I have with you guys. Hey, Hammer, how are you, my friend? How are you feeling? What's the big ride for today? I can't relate to on this topic, but I have an issue when I order an egg sandwich and it has yellow cheese on it. Veterans Day, I clearly said provolone and received yellow cheese, which I took as an insult. I would too. I would too, my friend. You have served your country, and when you ask for provolone cheese, you deserve provolone cheese. Is cheese naturally yellow in the wild? Or do we make it that way? What I think of popcorn machines? I think it's vital for the making of popcorn, and if you like popcorn, Paul Newman makes good popcorn. Personally, stick it in the microwave. Or you remember Jiffy Pop? When I was a kid, I loved making Jiffy Pop. I was a little indifferent to the actual popcorn that appeared, but the making of popcorn was a wonderful thing. My grandmother had a old-fashioned. It was like a frying pan with an orange lid, and you spun it. It was important to spin it, and I loved making popcorn at my grandmother's house. Put the popcorn in, you put a little bit of oil, and then you turned it, listening to it pop. When my grandmother passed away, I really wanted that. Not to make popcorn, just as a remembrance of those wonderful times at my grandmother's house. No one could find it, though. Well, it says, I request a minimum of 15 minutes of Sportle Talk per live stream. This is not the first time that we've had Sportle Spatula conversation. It's the first time we've had Sportle. Big thank you for the word Sportle, guys. Kat says they need to bring that popcorn machine back for Christmas. That would be an awesome gift. It would. If anyone is thinking what to get Yogi for Christmas, don't get me a popcorn making machine. It would be cool to have, but I don't really make popcorn. Hammer says, I'm not driving today. I have a heart test at 8 a.m. I also start back on chemo today at noon. My heart is good. This will be a shorter round of chemo. Well, prayers that your heart is good, prayers that it's a shorter round of chemo, and prayers that everything goes well for you, my friend. Hammer, 3 rings for you this morning. Hammer, we love you, my friend. All right, Lee. Lee has my popcorn making machine. I knew it all along. I didn't want to call him out on the live stream, though. Sissy sending prayers for Hammer. Thanks, guys. Praveen says, are we running shoes for Christmas, Yogi? That would be appreciated. My collection is dwindling. I think I'm down to... That whole thing is filled with running shoes. And I got more over there. I don't want to show you that side of the room. I will never get Kat up here to visit if she sees that side of the room. Let's just say that there is more running shoes. There's some more books. Miss Pippa says, just like Yogi said, bit of oil, hot pan, shake every once in a while. And that is my recipe for a Christmas ham. Thank you, Sissy. The link is up. The only reason that I've had a 27-minute conversation about spatulas is stalling for time so Sissy could put the link up for today's Grand Rising. Kat says, yeah, that's why I'm not coming up there, Yogi. Once I get started, I can't control myself. I'll be there for a year. Okay. You sealed your fate, young lady. Kat's going to come up and people are going to be like, it's so awesome that Kat's there with you. How's your relationship? And I'll be like, I don't know. She hasn't stopped cleaning for the last year that she's been here. Ask me the next year when the cleaning is done, and I bet you the relationship will be awesome. I have not had a single conversation other than Kat saying, so where exactly does this belong and do you still need it? The answer to the both of those questions are, I don't know where anything belongs, and no, I probably don't need it. I do not need running shoes that are 14 years old, literally 14 years old, except I can tell you every race, I can recall every mile, every trail, every training run that I've been on when I look at those shoes. Shoes to me do not reveal the shoe itself, but the journey that was took. Ronald says, hey, good, can you quickly mention it before ringing the bell for me? It's a spun that has been bothering me over time. I used to not mind it, but I don't know, something about it. Oh, got ya. Yeah, Marlon, I'll do my best. I can't always remember. A lot of times ringing the bell is spontaneous when something comes up, but I'll do my best. I can understand it, though. I do understand what you're saying, and I will try. Marlon says, I didn't expect him to agree, but he did so because he agreed to my ridiculous request. I will man up and do my end. Oh, my brother extended the olive branch. Awesome. And he apologized for some stuff he thought was right, and turned out wrong. So only agreed to go back to treatment if he went on everyone. I'm glad. I am glad, Hammer. And it says, Yogi would like you to make pancakes, Kat. I would like her to make pancakes. Kat has a secret recipe for her pancakes. You want to know what that is? The secret recipe is love. Sissy says, Destiny is upon you, Yogi. Not your fault, just my autistic brain being autistic. Understood. But, we do have. I do realize that we have some autistic friends that are here. So that is something that I should keep in mind more often. So thanks for the reminder, Marlon. Miss Pepper would like to learn about Kat's empty jars. They contain the soul of the men and women that she has conquered. Praveen says, true Yogi, sir, I can relate to you. Hey, Hot Cheetos, how are you, my friend? Kat says, Hammer, I think ultimately there's a lot of love there, and love wins. Amen to that. Cake flour for thick pancakes. Amen. By the way, pancakes do not need milk or cream. All they need is love. When the Beatles sang, All You Need Is Love, they were literally singing about pancakes. True story. You're right about that, Miss Flipper. Prasha, cooking food with blessing. Miss Flip says, but love doesn't conquer. It sets all things right. Amen to that. Hopefully you can work through your headache and you'll be feeling better. Hey, Kamari. Good morning, my friend. Kat says, my grandma Zelda taught me to make pancakes with just flour and water. She called it whole cakes, but that is not the true definition of what a whole cake is. Hint of cinnamon? Nope, no eggs. Hey, Jacob. Jacob, you are up early, my friend. Yes, Mustafa. Mustafa says, Yogi, ring the bell 3 times for a daughter who died in an accident. Yes, my friend. Marlon, we're ringing the bell 3 times. And I would love to cook something for someone right now. You have any favorite lentil recipes? Here's my recipe for lentils. Write this down, guys. If you have a pen and paper handy, I'm only going to say it once. Take lentils, put in Instant Pot, press go. That's it. All right, guys. Marlon, ringing the bell 3 times. Mustafa, for you, for your daughter, who is always and will always be with you, my friend. She resides in your heart now, closer than ever. Love to you, my friend. 3 times. Prayers, Mustafa. Love you, my friend. Hammer, you never bore us. Not to bore anyone or anger anyone, but in this country, PTSD has become almost criminal. So we fight for our country. We come back home and do our best to get back in society. The second we struggle. Sorry, my friend. I understand. I have seen it up close. We are labeled PTSD for my brother Serb. Now my brother Serb because he cooked in Germany, and sometimes he forgets that, and sometimes my view are off because my service and his service are different. My ex-wife served in the Air Force 23 and a half years and did a tour in Iraq 2008. 2007, 2008. The issue I had with my meltdown a few months back was when I came home and my guns were gone. This was him, not the law. But I do forgive him. Love, as Miss Pipper says, sets all things right. But we have to give ourselves to it. Hey, Bastille, how are you, my friend? Hello, hello. Good to see you. Yogi, good to see you, too. Mustafa, you're welcome, my friend. Miss Pipper says, I do. Silk-dried lentils. First saute celery, carrots, onion, tomatoes, and lentils, salt and pepper. As needed to add water slowly till done. Nice. I like that. Thank you, Sissy. Guys, Leo, so good to see you, says Kat. Valdemar was asking about you this morning. Let's see. The Derpy Warrior. Hello, my friend. I love hosting bot flyers and spreading them to others to share. Awesome. Thank you, Praveen. All shall know my parasites. Well, I appreciate you sharing your parasites. I locked my cat out inadvertently. Kat says she saw her typo. Left it because I know spatulas. If there's one thing I know, it is spatulas. Let's see. You have to share a recipe, or do you eat them raw, Derpy? A wooden spoon. All right, guys. I got to run. Literally. Emma says I had a bad reaction to meds going into that surgery, and it took weeks for me to come back. Now I feel I was over-medicated, and my body actually agrees. But where we differ is I want revenge. And he wants me to drop the issue. Can you meet somewhere in between that and see what comes of it? All right, guys, I'm heading out. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for the lively conversations about, the gathering of spatulas. Maybe that's what I'm going to name my live stream, my morning live streams, instead of Course in Miracles. The gathering of spatulas. Don't be surprised if it happens, if it doesn't happen tomorrow. The spatula sermon. We're gathered here today to talk of the arrival of the great spatula. That would have been a good Charlie Brown special instead of the Great Pumpkin. Hey, Hammer, again, you never ever bore us, ever. We're here for you. This is what the entire channel is about. Whoever has something to share, share it. Guys, make sure you check out Praveen's channel. Mustafa says, the people we love, whether family, relatives, or friends, always have a very strong influence on our lives, and losing one of them is a very painful experience. Indeed it is, my friend. Agreed. I agree with you. Hammer says, yes, Yogi, we did. I pretend I'm done with it, and he thinks I'm done. Eventually you will be. All right, I do have to go. Love you guys. I'll see you 1 o'clock. We'll be back talking about stuff. Love you guys. Take care.